Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Claire's enjoyment was ruined by Noah's dicey condition. The Young and the Restless spoilers for October 15, 2025, have been released. Fans can anticipate that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will provide information regarding Noah Newman's, Lucas Adams, condition in the following episode. Meanwhile, Claire Grace Newman's, Hayley Erin, good time is ruined. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Be sure to check out the spoilers for our weekly Y&R here. The adventure of Claire Grace Newman. Claire and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, will be having a great time in Los Angeles. The blonde is supposed to experience this as a time of liberation, independence, and release. However, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, isn't far behind. Kyle had already attempted to obtain the hotel address of Victoria Newman, also known as Amelia Heinley. Read more, find out what happened on the last episode of Y&R. However, as a result of Harrison Abbott's, Reading Munsell, troubling dream about Holden, Kyle may have to work extra hard to reach Claire. Additionally, there is Holden's relationship with Zuleika Silver's Audra Charles. In addition to that, Audra once mentioned that Holden scared her when dating because of all the danger. However, she refused to provide any specifics. He could be truly dangerous or this could be skydiving. Is it possible that Claire might be in trouble despite Holden's good guy persona? Read this. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Is Sienna's lover the ordering power behind Noah's car crash? Nate Hastings update. As Victoria tries to deal with the losses and loneliness in her life as well as the grief, she will get some much-needed support. Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, is there to help her out. Victoria will also discuss Kyle, Claire, and Holden with Nate. As a result, I'm curious if Nate could offer her some useful guidance. Later, anticipate Victoria pursuing Claire in Los Angeles. Despite Claire's love for her mother, this trip was taken with Holden. Having her mom there might ruin a bit of the fun. Read this. The Young and the Restless. Peter Bergman scores a new role. What does it mean for Y&R? Noah Newman's condition. Sharon has been relaying updates to Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, about Noah's condition. Nick will finally make it to the hospital, where he will get more details about what happened and the prognosis. Nick and Sharon will really need to lean on each other during this time. It could bring these former flames closer as well. If they hadn't cast Noah, they wouldn't have bothered. Noah will probably be fine. However, they might alter Noah's appearance by utilizing that accident. It might also set up a story where Noah is in some big trouble with the club. While he claims everything has been great, he's also been hard to reach, and now the crash. The sudden end of the adventure of Claire Grace Newman. Claire Grace Newman continues her much-needed escape from Genoa City's intensity in Los Angeles. After months of therapy, self-discovery, and attempts to carve out her own identity apart from her family's complicated legacy, she's finally feeling a sense of lightness. Her time with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, has been filled with laughter, adventure, and the kind of freedom she's longed for. For once, Claire is the carefree young woman she always wanted to be, not the tormented girl haunted by Jordan's manipulation or the granddaughter living in the shadow of the Newman Empire. Holden represents something different for Claire: excitement and independence. He's confident, spontaneous, and pushes her to take chances. Their bond has deepened since they arrived in Los Angeles, and Claire's walls have come down in a way that surprises even her. However, as with most things in the Newman world, peace never lasts long. Back in Genoa City, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, is growing increasingly restless. His envy and curiosity about Claire's trip with Holden are consuming him. Kyle already tried to pry information from Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, about Claire's hotel location but got stonewalled. Even so, Kyle never gives up, especially after Harrison Abbott, Reading Munsell, tells him about a troubling dream about Holden. Kyle is startled by Harrison's startling vision. What if Holden isn't as harmless as he seems? There's also the matter of Holden's past with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Audra once cryptically mentioned that Holden scared her when they dated but refused to elaborate. Was it reckless thrill-seeking? Or a more sinister one? Perhaps his penchant for risk crosses over into recklessness or even violence. As these layers unfold, The audience is left wondering whether Claire's romantic getaway could quickly turn dangerous. The episode hints that Holden's fun-loving exterior may hide a more volatile side, one that could threaten both Claire's emotional and physical safety. It is likely that Kyle's determination to intervene will make things even more complicated. His interference could drive Claire away or increase her risk, despite the fact that his intentions may be motivated by concern or even jealousy. For now, the carefree sunshine of Los Angeles may soon give way to emotional storms. Victoria's concern and Nate's steady support. Victoria Newman, on the other hand, struggles to find a balance between her growing sense of isolation and her concern for her daughter back in Genoa City. Victoria finds herself thinking about the complicated dynamics in her family after going through a lot of personal and professional upheaval. The loss, the loneliness, and the overwhelming guilt of everything that's happened over the past year weigh heavily on her. Sean Dominic's Nate Hastings, once more, takes on the role of her anchor. Nate has remained one of the few people who can calm Victoria's storm despite their previous romances and workplace drama. It is anticipated that their scenes together in this episode will highlight their subtle emotional chemistry. Nate does not judge as Victoria expresses her physical and emotional concerns regarding Claire's safety. She doesn't want to smother her daughter, but she also can't ignore the uneasy feeling gnawing at her. Nate might remind Victoria that part of parenting is learning when to step back, but Victoria's maternal instinct wins out. She ultimately decides to fly to Los Angeles to check in on Claire. Unfortunately for Claire, that well-intentioned act of love could ruin her hard-earned freedom. What was meant to be a light-hearted trip suddenly turns into another chapter of mother-daughter tension. Fans can expect a powerful confrontation when Victoria shows up, one that could test the boundaries of trust between the two women. Even though Victoria is protective out of love, it also shows that she can't completely trust Claire to make her own decisions. She might be able to get through that struggle with Nate's calm influence, but the consequences of her decision to follow Claire will undoubtedly reverberate for weeks to come. Condition of Dicey Noah Newman. The terrifying accident that occurred to Noah Newman is the other major plot point of the episode. As she waits for Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, continues to provide updates on the condition of her son. Her worry is palpable. For any parent, waiting in that sterile, uncertain space between hope and despair is agony, and Sharon is no exception. The ex-partners rely heavily on one another when Nick reaches the hospital, as their shared concern for their son rekindles old feelings. 4 years, Sharon and Nick's connection has weathered everything from betrayal to tragedy. This crisis may once again remind them that beneath all the heartbreak, their love and bond as parents remain unbreakable. Their scenes are expected to be filled with quiet emotional intensity, the kind of raw, understated moments that remind fans why Schick has always been a cornerstone couple on The Young and the Restless. Noah's condition is described as dicey, but there's reason for optimism. Viewers suspect the accident storyline could serve as a catalyst for several developments, not only to bring Sharon and Nick closer but possibly to justify Noah's new look following the recast with Lucas Adams. However, the bigger mystery may be why the accident happened in the first place. Was it truly random, or is there more lurking beneath the surface? Earlier teasers hinted at a shadowy figure, possibly Mitch, being connected to the crash. The possibility that Noah's problems with his music club, his separation from his family, and the accident are all connected to something sinister is growing. Sharon and Nick may soon find themselves not only assisting in the recovery of their son but also deciphering a perilous plot connected to his business endeavors. Emotional fallout and what comes next. By the end of the episode, 2 emotional storms will be brewing, one in Los Angeles and one in Genoa City. Holden's shady past and family interference may cause Claire's ideal of a carefree, independent life to fall apart. Meanwhile, Sharon and Nick's world is shaken by fear and uncertainty, but also a rekindling of the love that never truly died between them. The writers seem to be setting the stage for a collision between these 2 arcs. As the Newman family splinters across 2 cities, both storylines could eventually intertwine, perhaps with Victoria and Claire's drama in Los Angeles spilling over into Sharon and Nick's world back home. At its heart, this episode is about control and vulnerability, parents trying to protect their children, lovers trying to hold on, and young adults trying to find freedom in a world full of shadows. Noah's accident, Claire's ruined fun, Victoria's worry, and Sharon's heartbreak all tie into the young and the restless timeless themes: family, love, and the consequences of secrets left to fester. In a nutshell, the young and the restless fans will be riveted to their televisions as Wednesday's episode promises to be an emotional, suspenseful, and shocking tapestry. New faces and shocking revelations are revealed in The Young and the Restless November sweepstakes. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that November sweeps will unveil wedding chaos, shocking revelations, and new faces in Genoa City. Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, and Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, are getting married. Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, has some shocking news, and Roger Howarth makes his debut as a mysterious new character. Roger Howarth's debut, Kane's possible lawsuit. As of now, there's still some uncertainty about Roger Howarth's character, but he's anticipated to make an appearance on the soap in late fall, with a likely debut in November. Since Howarth began filming for the CBS soap in the middle of September, Sweeps Month would be an ideal time for him to join the show. Given that the show films several weeks in advance, it's possible he could arrive in Genoa City next month. Kane, on the other hand, has indicated that he will sue Newman Media for publishing a defamatory article about his father, Colin Atkinson, Tristan Rogers, which could result in some significant drama in November. There have been claims that there are no credible sources to support the story that Colin deceived Madame DeLeon while posing as Lord Jeremy Egerton for her wealth and estate in Nice. Newman Media sued Adam and Chelsea accomplices. Newman Media could run into serious issues if it turns out that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, forged the letter. Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, have simply followed Victor's orders. As a result, they would likely be very upset if it turns out this whole situation was a con, and planned from the start. Their reputations are at stake, and if Kane can prove that his father is innocent of the accusations against him, it could cause major turmoil at the Newman estate. Not to mention the possibility that Kane will use them as accomplices in a fraudulent scheme against Victor. Danny and Christine's wedding, Phyllis causes problems. Finally, during November sweeps, Christine and Danny are getting ready to say I do once more, promising fans touching moments as they do so. But will everything go as planned? Are soap weddings ever successful? It seems that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, might cause some trouble for the couple she can't stand, making it all the more interesting to see how things play out. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless suggest that while November sweeps may bring cooler weather, the drama in Genoa City is sure to heat up. That means a month packed with episodes that fans won't want to miss. Catch up on everything that is going on right now with Y&R. The Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates can be found here frequently. Roger Howarth's mysterious debut and Kane's brewing battle with Newman Media. One of the most buzzworthy events of the season will be the debut of Roger Howarth, the acclaimed daytime veteran known for his previous roles on General Hospital and One Life to Live. Fans of The Young and the Restless are speculating wildly about the character he will play and the kind of trouble or intrigue he will bring to the town since he has joined the show. According to reports, Howarth began filming in mid-September, which means his on-screen debut is likely timed perfectly for November sweeps. While his role is still shrouded in secrecy, there's chatter that he could be connected to one of Genoa City's most prominent families. Some fans theorize he might be tied to the Chancellor, Abbott, or even the Newman clans, potentially arriving as a long-lost relative, a business rival, or someone with a vendetta. Meanwhile, Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, is gearing up for a battle of his own. The former Chancellor Industries CEO is furious over a damaging article published by Newman Media that accuses his father, Colin Atkinson, Tristan Rogers, of defrauding Madame DeLeon while posing as Lord Jeremy Egerton. The exposé implies that Colin deceived her for her fortune and estate in Nice, France, a scandalous revelation that has shaken the family's reputation. However, Kane is convinced that the story is based on falsified information and that there are no credible sources to support the accusations. He suspects foul play and in Genoa City, that often points to one name, Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Kane's anger and determination could push him to take legal action, possibly filing a defamation lawsuit against Newman Media. A situation like this could have significant repercussions for all parties involved. Adam and Chelsea's repercussions from Victor's mistakes. Newman Media could face more than just a lawsuit if Victor is indeed to blame for the creation of the article or the alleged forged letter that sparked the controversy. It could also result in a full-blown corporate and family scandal. Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, have been loyally following Victor's orders, unaware that they may be pawns in yet another one of the mustache's morally questionable schemes. Should Kane uncover proof that the letter was fabricated, it would not only destroy Victor's credibility but also drag Adam and Chelsea down with him. Their involvement, whether intentional or not, would make them complicit in a fraudulent act that could ruin their professional reputations and further alienate them from Genoa City's elite. Adam and Victor's never-ending struggle for power and trust may also be further strained by this revelation. For Chelsea, the situation could have emotional consequences as well, especially if she feels manipulated by Victor's machinations. Both Adam and Chelsea have been trying to rebuild their lives and reputations, but this scandal could send them spiraling back into chaos. Fans can anticipate dramatic courtroom scenes, corporate warfare, and possibly the disclosure of secrets Victor never intended for the public if Kane's legal threats come to pass. Danny and Christine's romantic reunion takes a chaotic turn. Amid the corporate tension, romance takes center stage as Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, and Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, prepare to say I do once more. One of the most touching and nostalgic arcs of the year has been their rekindled love story, which has delighted longtime fans who remember their initial romance from the 1980s and 1990s. Their upcoming wedding is anticipated to be a moving occasion marked by music, fond memories, and sincere vows. However, this is the young and the restless, and no soap wedding ever goes off without a hitch. The couple's happiness could be short-lived thanks to Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, who has a complicated history with both Christine and Danny. Phyllis has always been the wild card in their love story, often serving as the wedge that drove them apart decades ago. Now, as the two prepare to tie the knot again, Phyllis may find herself struggling with jealousy, regret, or unresolved feelings for Danny. Spoilers suggest that she could unintentionally, or perhaps intentionally, disrupt the ceremony. Whether it's an emotional outburst, a shocking confession, or a strategic move to sabotage the day, Phyllis could once again be the storm that threatens Christine and Danny's happily ever after. Fans can expect a blend of nostalgia and tension as old wounds reopen and passions reignite. The wedding, set against the backdrop of November sweeps, promises to be one of the most talked-about events in Genoa City history. New faces, old grudges, and a city on edge. In addition to Roger Howarth's enigmatic role, rumors suggest that Genoa City this fall may see the appearance of additional new characters. The beginning of new storylines and power shifts are frequently signaled by these introductions. Is there a connection between Howarth's character and the growing conflict between Newman Media and Kane Ashby? Or is he just a ghost from the past who shows up with secrets that could change everything? Meanwhile, Victor's empire faces scrutiny, and alliances are shifting fast. The fallout from the Newman Media expose could pull in other major players like Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, all of whom may be forced to choose sides as the truth comes to light. If Kane's lawsuit succeeds, it could shed light on the inner workings of Newman Media and demonstrate Victor's willingness to go to any lengths to safeguard his image. This plot could, in typical Y&R fashion, incorporate personal betrayals, court battles, and shocking revelations that have repercussions across the entire Newman dynasty. November sweeps promise unforgettable drama. As the temperatures drop, the young and the restless is heating up. November sweeps are set to deliver everything fans love about the show: romance, betrayal, family feuds, and jaw-dropping surprises. From Christine and Danny's wedding day chaos to Kane's crusade for justice and Roger Howarth's mysterious debut, Genoa City will be bursting with energy and emotion. The consequences of Victor's possible deceit will affect everyone, and allegiances will be put to the ultimate test. Meanwhile, as love stories are rekindled and rivalries reignite, viewers can expect a thrilling month where every episode feels like a must-watch. So buckle up, Y&R fans, the winds of change are blowing through Genoa City, and November Sweeps 2025 is shaping up to be one of the most unforgettable chapters in the show's storied history.